Nope.
Who's not okay with Travis hates my plushies. So.
Yelling at
I
clouds.
think
Yeah,
Travis
that's why it got changed.
dislikes plushies, period.
I think
I don't
he's just
think it's
jealous.
your plushies. I
He's
think
just
it's all
jealous.
plushies.
I'll tell Travis he's jealous.
He just needs a Cthulhu plushie.
You do that.
He could. Actually, I saw them on a site that were already made, and it was actually very tempting to get one. But yeah, I don't know. But at least my internet is working. It didn't work yesterday, which is why I was not on JD's show. I saw it at 9:13 at work. I saw Tom on that show. It's like,
I picked up the slack.
I appreciate that. I actually was going to ask you, but I couldn't really message anybody. But yeah, I was supposed to be on the show, and then I was like, that's not good. But I don't know. My internet's iffy sometimes. I'm actually surprised it works now because I used to plug in, but it was so fucking annoying to have to bring this cord all the way through the house and trip and kill everybody. So I love how YouTube
Everybody?
What?
Trip
Everybody
and
as
kill.
in me, my husband, and 5 pets. So yeah, I'm a third.
Oh, okay.
And if
I
you
don't
go to
have
her
any.
house, you'll get killed too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm never coming over.
Yeah. That's probably for the best. Actually, my house is exceptionally clean because my husband is like a germaphobe, so works out great. Because I'm lazy as fuck, so it worked out. It was a great pair. And then
So bring him to my house. That would be great.
yeah.
I'll invite him
That'll
over.
work.
I'll pay for his plane ticket.
Yeah.
Even. Just get him
Be
out
like,
here.
oh, your Carissa's coming over. Well, you can get a plane ticket too.
Yeah.
Here's all my cleaning supplies in this closet.
Oh, he has his
Yeah,
own.
he's gonna have
Me
a
and
lot
I
of
are
stops
leaving.
through the country. He's gonna be doing some heavy duty cleaning.
Right. We'll be in the
I
pool. See you later. Bye.
All you have to do
Pretty
is
much.
pay him with a pool swim. He loves pools.
Oh, he loves the pool.
but
There
yeah,
you
He can clean the
My
pool then
friend-
swim in it.
go.
yeah. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe swim it and then clean it.
Either way.
But my friend brought over the car and she's like, "Can you just like vacuum it out?" I was like, "You have no idea what you're in for."
Uh-oh.
He's got upholstery, shampooers. He's got it all. He was a detailer for 14 years. He's got it all. So he's
Nice.
I was like, I come home in the middle of the day. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "He's cleaning my car." I was like, "When did he start?" She's like, 5 minutes ago. You might as well get comfortable. It's at least an hour. So yeah, it was about an hour. So, but yeah. Tom, you were talking about on whatever random show I was on Saturday. There was a movie you wanted to talk about when we were ending. I know you always talk about movies, but I guess you just saw a movie. I'm trying to think. We were just ending, and you're like, I wanted to talk to you about the movie, and then you're like, it's for another
I
show.
had seen Darkman. Yeah, Marvin
Oh,
had been telling me for a long time. It was
The
sort of
original?
a running joke, sort of behind the scenes. He was like, "Yeah, you gotta see Darkman, see Darkman," and I was like, "I've never seen Darkman," and I ended up seeing it. So yeah, I did finally get to
And
catch
I
that.
saw that when wasn't that from the 90s?
Yeah,
I saw
it was
that one in
1990.
theaters.
Yeah, 1990. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I saw that when it originally came out. I think I liked it.
Same here.
It's been a long
it's
time.
been. I saw it. I think I saw it the once in the theater. Maybe caught it a second time on HBO or something. But I couldn't tell you one thing about the plot. I just remember. Okay.
Well,
that
let
was
me
cool.
tell you. I'll tell you.
Do it. You can fill me
Because
in, and then it'll
Here's
all
my
come
interpretation
screaming back.
going in from a zero-sum game.
Go ahead, Tom.
I had some basic memory of it. I knew there were a few of them. I didn't remember it was a Sam Raimi movie. I was like, oh, that's cool. So
didn't know
like I'm watching this movie and I'm like, two things come to my mind immediately. I'm like, this is just Batman. This is basically it's what if the Joker was Batman? That's what this movie is.
Perfect.
Right up to the point of how he becomes Darkman, being dunked in a tank of toxic goo. And then the other part of it was this soundtrack sounds really familiar. Like this sounds like Batman. And then I went and looked and it's Danny Elfman.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is
yeah.
clearly just Sam Raimi going, hey, Danny, you got some extra tracks from Batman you didn't use, right? Let's put them in this movie. And that was it. I mean, I could not get that out of my brain the entire time. As soon as all of those little pieces connected, I was like, yo, this is just Batman. If you ordered Batman from Wish, like it's really, really strange. And it wasn't like a bad movie or anything, but even the end, they're up on a building, right? And they're falling off of buildings and the bad guy drops off the skyscraper. I'm like, oh my God, this is just Batman, everybody. This is literally
I'm gonna
just
have to watch
cribbed
it
off of
again
Batman.
now with that point of view.
Yeah, I have to see it again because when I saw it, I probably thought this is just like Batman. I love it because at that point in time, everything like Batman was gold. I mean, there were
100%.
so few
Yeah,
good
100%.
superhero movies to pick from in 1990 that you just went bonkers for any one of them. So at that time, I probably put the pieces together, but thought that makes it brilliant. It's another Batman. Make all the movies Batman. I don't care.
Ed, I love you. We just met, and I love you.
My husband hasn't even seen the original Batman, so
Oh, that's
original as in Michael Keaton.
how'd you marry him? I don't even know.
You know what? I got to be totally honest with you. I did not read the fine print. I had no idea.
But the
what
cleaning
I
you
was
talked
doing.
about earlier does sell
Yeah,
us.
that was all I knew. So I was like,
Hey, you
I'm
know
sold.
what? I take it back. I see why you married him. It's all good.
He had not seen Ghostbusters, Spaceballs, Roger Rabbit. I'm slowly
See,
building him through these.
That is such a wildly gigantic red flag. Like, I don't know how you can live in this world
That was all I
and not
knew.
see sort of the keys. Like, I know there's people that are like, well, I've never seen Star Wars. I'm like, you're full of crap. You have seen Star Wars in some capacity, whether it was on TNT or whatever. But it's like you reach a level of, if you exist in pop culture, you reach a level of it. There's an impossibility of you to have not seen some keys. Like, there's a bunch of stuff in the 80s that I had not seen, but I don't consider them keys. Like, I'd never seen Labyrinth. I don't consider that a key. I hadn't seen Willow. That's not really a key to me. But
Those are both good though.
anybody that's like, I haven't seen Batman, like that
Those are
seems
good, though.
impossible to me.
Yeah,
You know
what I
that's all
mean?
that mattered in 1989 when that
Yeah,
thing came
yeah,
out.
yeah,
That was the rage everywhere. For a moment, it was cool to wear a Batman shirt. You wouldn't get your ass
that
beat for it.
changed. Yeah,
I loved
literally, that
moment for,
changed
like,
pop
6
culture.
months.
I mean, yeah, that changed pop
Oh,
culture.
it was everything.
Yeah.
All the jocks had their Batman shirts. It was you see the cool kids were wearing the Batman gear. You're like, hell yes, I'm one of you now. Then they're remind you in a couple of months, like, you realize that's not cool anymore. You got to take that Batman shirt off. Like, damn it, I'm back to being myself.
I have never been part of the cool kids, but yeah.
Hey, the
I
Batman
wasn't
shirt
even-
did
I
it
wasn't
for like
even
a
cool
month.
enough. I wasn't even cool enough in the 80s to have all that hairsprayed hair. I was totally out of it. No leg warmers. I was not popular at all. I had a lot of friends. Like, I was the person that had friends in like all of the different places. I think I bribed everyone with candy. I would just carry candy around. It worked great. But I did not have the big floofy hair. I was lazy then, just like I'm lazy now. I've never worn makeup. It's just too much work. So there was no way I was doing that to my hair. So I was out. I was not with the trends of all the cool stuff.
I didn't.
Actually, I was so out of it, I didn't even know who the new kids on the block were. And when someone's like, "What's your favorite new kid?" I was like, "What's yours?" And then I would just say whatever theirs is back. So, no, I was not cool. And had any Batman shirts, but I did like Michael Keaton's Batman. So, the Joker was awesome.
But you're probably better off. You don't have any embarrassing 80s pictures of yourself where you're like, holy crap, how did I think this was good? So, if nothing else, you don't have any of that.
Well, there is one thing. My mother, who I love dearly, for some reason gave me a mullet for my entire half of my childhood. Apparently, I said the hair was in my eyes, and she took that as in let's shorten the whole entire front. And and it sucked. Fortunately, with my attitude, no one can make fun of me because I was like, yeah, it looks like shit. Like I was just make fun of myself. I was very lucky to have that screwed up personality as I do. But I couldn't get rid of it until my senior year because that was the first year you're allowed to wear a hat. So I would just put a hat over it and let it grow. I couldn't grow it out because it would turn into an afro, so it just wouldn't work. So there are some pictures, but fortunately, I think I've destroyed most of them, and we didn't have social media back then, so I think I'm okay. But yeah, that is my embarrassing, and I'll have to show you sometime, Laura. There's got to be a picture somewhere, but it was.
I would love to see that, and I promise I won't share it.
Yeah. You can't. I was like, you can't promise you won't laugh because it's.
I mean, I might laugh. I have
laugh.
the same hair as you, so I've been through the same thing.
Yeah.
Like when we think we can have short hair with curly hair, and it's just a disaster.
My senior year picture, I still have long hair, but back in the day, it was just going. I had the full. I was Farrah Fawcett, Like it was flowing and amazing and yeah, it was
We'll
all
have
that.
to have a session of just us and our profiles or the pictures of the 80s. But yeah, I think mine was from the age of, I can't quote myself on this, but I think like 10 to like 17 was this god awful hair, like awful hair. But yeah, so I could fully understand the age of the mullet because I had it. So
Mullets are back.
yeah, well, it's not
They seem
happening
to have
again.
come back strong.
They're back.
It took 4 years to grow out my hair. So from the age of
I think
1 year.
I technically had a mullet at one point too, just because I was growing my hair out and I had layers, and it was like I didn't want to. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to cut it when you're growing it out, so it was just like weird chunky layers, and it looked bad.
Yeah,
So
it was
long enough
just
I
all
didn't
of this
hurt it.
was short, and then I had like the party in the back. So yeah, good times.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm so lucky that I have my personality or lack thereof. It's the only thing that I survived on was that. It was like there's no way any other kid would survive that haircut. So good times. I can think of some of the insults. I think one I got made fun of. I think one would be like, it looks like there's a squirrel on your head or something. And I was like, I know, I feed it daily. Like it was like I already know that. So yeah, I'll have to find a picture. I burned most of them, but I know they're out there. I know my mom's got to have them. So if I had Tom's ears, it would have really looked like a squirrel. But now I want to see Tom's hair.
I was
I
like
wanna
the
see you
weird.
make up your hair.
I was like the weird nerd kid my whole life, but then once I got to high school, like I got big, and suddenly I learned that running into people was awesome. And so I got very into football. And so here's this nerd kid that's like playing with Transformers and G.I. Joes that suddenly goes to high school and starts playing football and running into people. And people, they had no idea what to do with me. They were like, who is this guy? Like, what is going on right now? This is not who we were with last year in eighth grade. Like, what is happening? Honestly, if someone had told me back then, this was a long time ago, it's very different for sports now. But if someone had told me back then that, hey, you could run into people for like a living, like and play football, life would have probably been a lot different.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't run into people. I gave someone a bloody nose when I was in 3rd grade.
Did the mullet attack someone? Or?
Yeah, so I don't know how this started, but apparently I don't know. Apparently, I was kind of like the anti-bully, and I can't tell you how it started. People would get bullied, and for some reason, they would come to me. I have no idea why. I was not a fighter that I know of, or that I remember. But if anyone came to me, I would let them stay, behind me, and then I would scare. I guess I'm a scary person. I could see that.
It's because of that hair.
It was definitely part of the hair. Yeah. It had benefits. But I guess and it was a guy. I remember it being a boy, and he like jumped on my back, so I went bam like that, which was not intentional to like give a bloody nose or anything. But apparently, I gave him a bloody nose, and I thought I was going to be suspended. But because I'm just a girl, he got in trouble. So it worked out for me. But either way, he started it technically. But yeah, so I technically gave someone a bloody nose, and then I had my own little gang. I could have been it. I could have been the losers club.
I did not see Ghostbusters this weekend, but I did go see Late Night with the Devil.
Ooh, I want to see that one.
What is it? Never heard of it.
It's
I don't know his name.
It's like it's like a 70s night, like a late night show, like a Jimmy Carson or da. So this guy is hosting the show, and one of his guests is this lady that's written this book, Conversations with the Devil, where she has this girl in her custody that used to be part of this cult, and they were sacrificing humans, and they burnt down the house. Like there was a confrontation with the police
from the group.
The house burnt down, and this little girl was the only survivor, and so she believes that this little girl is possessed by the devil. And then they're on this night show, the two of them with the show host and some other guests, and it takes a pretty bad turn.
Is this like a horror movie or is it like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
It
drama?
listed as a horror comedy.
Did it
Was it
have
funny?
laughs?
Did
No
you
one
laugh?
was laughing.
So wait, was
So-
it failed comedy or it just had no humor in it?
Or just
I don't want to
It's
spoil it if
labeled
people are
wrong.
going to see
Is
it.
it like,
Or
like
labeled wrong? Yeah.
parts of The Exorcist are actually funny, like that? Or
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
thought Thanksgiving was hysterical.
No,
Yeah.
I think
Oh, Thanksgiving was
over the
amazingly
top in
funny.
some of their imagery.
Yeah.
There was some demon Abraxas, which I had to go look up Abraxas, and it was Abraxas is really interesting because there's a lot of different myths in a lot of different cultures, like Egyptian, Greek, Roman. There's more Jewish. Like they all use this name Abraxas as either a god or a demon, and there's like Abraxas stones. And I didn't get a lot of time to go down this rabbit hole, but Abraxas is apparently a thing, and like that's part of the word that we have. Abracadabra is based off of
I
Abraxas.
think he's in a later
Right.
book of mine.
Huh?
I think he's the one that's in a later book of mine. Is he related to Anubis at all?
Related to who?
Anubis?
I don't know, because he's in so many different cultures. You'd have to go just into the Egyptian one to see if Abraxas is related to
Yeah, I'll have
Anubis.
to
And
add
it's in
them.
all these different cultures, which is strange.
Yeah.
So apparently in this movie they play it off as an bird, like it's a bird head, but it's an owl because it's like late
A
night
bird.
with, I forget the host's name, but it was like an owl was like the logo for his show because it's a late night show, and so there was
Yeah.
just owls everywhere. Hi,
Okay.
Santa.
And I know
Um,
the main guy is the guy that was Polka Dot Man.
yeah,
Yes.
The
and,
He was
Suicide
really
Squad.
good. He's a fantastic actor. And I feel like this is kind of the first time he's got to play that leading role.
yeah.
And he did great. So
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one
the
I want to
problem
see.
is it's
I
a-
did go see Ghostbusters this weekend because we
Did
took
you?
the kids,
Oh,
and
Yeah,
it's not the one to take the kids to.
oh
And
oh
and I
For
enjoyed
why?
it. Hey, you know, I can torment children. Why not?
Is it
Well, I
scary?
think they're old enough, but the new Ghostbusters was good. I mean, it's one of those things where it's always going to pale to the original. But
yeah.
if you go in and you don't just think like I want to nitpick this thing and destroy it, you can
Better than
enjoy it for
Ghostbusters
what it
2?
is.
I call it.
2, I'd say
A-
yes.
A
I'd
friend
say
of
it's
mine,
better.
we had an argument about this because I found it to be pretty dull.
Really?
What he called it, though, and this was an interesting conversation because it applies to me because I'm a Godzilla fan. He was like, "Yeah, I treat these things as like comfort viewing, right? I'm not really concerned." This is his words, basically paraphrasing. I'm not really concerned with like high levels of originality and so on. I want to see the Ghostbusters fight a ghost with the laser beams and say the words, like, and that's all I want. And I'm like,
Yep.
Fine with
that's
it.
really disappointing to hear because if
What
that's
about
all
the
you
plot?
want, this is why we don't get good things
Plot.
because
There needs to be some plot.
yeah, I
No?
mean, so
Was
for me,
there a
like
plot?
the Ghostbusters, when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, good. We're finally out of Zool. We're finally out of all of that stuff, and we're going to tell like new stories with these new characters. Good, but
There's
it
only
just
Zool.
takes an eternity to get this story going. So, and then you have all these characters that just don't even seem to matter. Like the kid from Stranger Things does nothing. Like his entire
he's like a
purpose
main
in the film is to go in the attic and find Slimer, and that's all he does. I mean, it just seemed like they were trying to do too much, and in doing too much,
Fan
they
fa-
didn't
fan
they
fan?
didn't just tell their story.
It
Yeah.
probably got edited out.
It's probably that. There's probably some director's cut. And I think one of the things that was telling to me is we went opening weekend and it was an empty theater. So
Well, like he said, I guess you're
Wow,
right.
really?
It was
Ouch.
cut out. Probably they cut stuff out because he said it was supposed to be over 3 hours. How long was it?
Well, all of these movies now, they
Over-
always say, oh,
this
there's
is
like a
about 2
3-hour
hours.
director's cut. And I'm like, see, here's the thing to me. If you filmed a 3-hour movie, you did not make a movie properly.
Right.
Because you shouldn't have all of this stuff. What this
I
tells me
loved
is
in the 90s.
you
They were all
made
90
all
minutes.
of this stuff and then you had to create something out of it rather than having, this is our movie and we had a couple of little lefts and rights that weren't going to work, and that's fine. We'll take those out. But that wasn't streamlined.
It's like the Snyder Cut. It's 4
I
hours.
keep finding that so many times where all these directors
Don't
like,
poke
oh
the
yeah,
bear
like
cut.
freaking what's his name? Adam Wingard was like, yeah, Godzilla versus Kong could be like 4 hours, and I'm like, no,
Let's take
absolutely
some time
not.
away
Please
from that.
don't.
Absolutely not. So yeah, I feel like these filmmakers, and maybe it's because they know director's cuts are a thing. Like even with Zack Snyder and his dumb Rebel Moon thing, he's like, yeah, we made Rebel Moon, but there's a director's cut coming. I'm like, yo, this is like doubling up on what the product is. It's like a way to sell it again. It's like, hey, here's the movie, but 6 months later, here's the movie again. And
Well, you know why? It's because they don't have that DVD release anymore.
well, that's
to
true.
capitalize on.
That is true, but that's their own
Yeah.
fault.
It is. They did it.
Yeah, they killed that. That's
Yep.
on them. I mean, I have no sympathy for these fools who used to talk about all the time how you would have a movie, and sometimes it didn't even do well, but once it got to DVD, it would
It started
explode and
Yeah.
become what we
Yeah.
call now the cult
It's that
classic.
second life.
Yeah,
Well-
and now that does. I mean, it does to a degree with streaming,
Cult
but
classic.
not to the same level.
It's like Daredevil director's cut, but I've never actually seen that version. I've only seen the movie theater.
Well, it's like, what were we gonna say?
can't
The
remember if I saw
Cell
it.
and like, Jennifer's Body, like some really like.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie, and I don't know why people like.
I
that
don't
so
like
much.
her. I don't like her at all. I don't find her sexy. in
There's
the
a
least.
certain crowd that it plays to, but still,
Yeah.
it's like it did terrible in the theater, and then when it got to DVD, everybody bought it. And it's
It
like,
blew up,
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Same with stuff like Showgirls. Showgirls was just obliterated,
Trash.
and then it
Not
became this ultimate camp thing over a period of time because
Well,
of
that got
social
an
media- because of
NC-17
the
on it as
DVDs.
well, and you couldn't sell an NC-17 movie in the movie theaters at that point. So it was VHS when the pervy
Yeah.
kids would go find a way to get a copy.
Mhm. But
I'm not saying
like I
that I'm
said, this
one of them or
comfort
not,
viewing
but-
idea, I get it because I'm a Godzilla fan, right? And there's only so much you can modify. It's still monster versus monster with whatever.
Yeah.
But for me, I even told him this. I was like, look, man, I liked Godzilla versus Kong, but I have problems with Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh,
and I will
it's a
tell you what
terrible
they are. I'm
movie,
not
but
going to
it's
come out saying
entertaining.
masterpiece. Whereas he comes at Ghostbusters and he comes out and he's like, masterpiece. I'm like, no, stop. Be
You're like,
reasonable. You can
5
enjoy it.
boxes that
You can tell me you like
wanted,
it, but be
but the rest
reasonable
of us
about
are
it.
Oh no, I'm
confused.
coming out more like you. I enjoyed it for
Yeah,
what
no,
it
I'm
was,
the other
but I'm
guy
not
who was
claiming
like, I love it.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
I know better than that. I'm just saying it hit all the right nostalgia buttons for me, but it was a flawed movie.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong. I'm like, can we just have the undirector's cut and cut all the humans out because they have pointless interactions? They don't do
Yeah.
anything. Just give me the only monsters fighting cut. That's what I want. Like the 35-minute version where the humans are gone. That's the one I'm ready to watch.
The thing
That's
with
how
the
I was with
nostalgia
Mama
buttons with
Bunny.
Ghostbusters for me is the problem, and this is the problem. I have no problem with the nostalgia buttons, but they were all the same nostalgia buttons. It's
Yeah.
like, let's push these again. Let's push these again. Does
It
that
was-
one still work?
it's-
Let's push that one
it's-
again.
That's Hollywood, isn't it?
And it just
To a
became
T,
it
where
just
they're
became
like,
tired.
do the same joke.
Yeah.
again.
It just became really tired to me.
Uh,
And that's where it fell flat for me. It's just like dude, I can literally sit in this theater and write your next scene because I know what you're gonna do. So yeah.
I think most of us can write better scripts than what's in Hollywood right now. Hi, Pops.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, they're playing it really safe and boring at the moment.
yes.
But it sounds like the late night with the devil doesn't
Yes.
play it safe and boring, so that's the one to go see, and it's the one
Right, but
gonna
that's
make
the one that
money.
doesn't get the mass release. That's the one that's in,
It
like-
did not get the mass release. It was not
Yeah.
playing in the theater near us. We had
Yeah.
to go to a
I haven't
different
even
one to go
seen
see
it.
it.
Like
Well,
sometimes
there's
I
no
watch.
advertising for it.
Yes,
It's
but
like-
see, like,
Honestly,
at some
I
point.
think I've written scarier things than that movie.
Yeah,
I
it's like
believe it.
last year there was a movie called Nefarious that came out that no one knew what it was, and it's an
Yeah.
amazing movie.
Oh, you liked it?
Oh, it's great. It's great. Yeah, I love it.
People are two minds on that one too because it has religious overtones.
Of
to
course,
it.
of course. I have no problem
That's
with that.
right.
Like, let's go. Let's
I
dive
saw
into
I
that
saw a
stuff.
trailer for the Imaginary finally. I was different. I mean, I all I have in my head while I'm watching it is like Tom said this is boring.
It's
That's
bad. It's so
that's
bad.
bad.
It's so bad.
I did see the trailer for the Abigail
Yeah.
one.
did
Is
not.
in the, were we talking about that one, Tom? Where they're
Yeah.
like they took Megan and they made her a vampire.
Yeah, the ballerina
Yeah.
vampire. Yeah.
Oh,
It looks exactly like it'll be bad. But like again, how
But
many?
it's going to
I
do
don't
well
know how
because she
many-
dances. It's a dancing monster
God.
kid. It's going to do well. I guarantee
I
it.
was falling
Well within the
asleep
context
in
of
the
low
theater
budget horror.
before the movie started because they played 75 commercials
Holy hell.
and then like 3 movie trailers for things that I knew were trash. So I was, as the movie was starting, I was already falling asleep.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of the trailers look good to me.
No,
They're either remakes or just I don't know what. I mean, I saw Boy Kills World, and it looked like Kill Bill with a guy. But I mean, some of the fight scenes looked good. I don't know. I said it to Chad. And he's like, I thought it was the continuation of Boy Meets World. I was like, what? No,
you're like, it is definitely not that.
no. It's
Boy
not
gets
that.
pissed
Now
off
I
at the
go to
world and
movies,
kills
I
it.
hear
I'll watch
Tom's
that.
voice in my
Yeah.
head. Who asked for this movie?
Yeah.
Did
What is
anybody
this
see?
movie for?
Yeah,
I don't
You
know.
guys,
Who
you guys
asked for
probably
that?
talked about this last week or something. But did you
What,
see?
Greg?
Did you see the Crow trailer?
I did not, but I've heard so much secondhand hatred for it. I would never see it anyway. I mean, James O'Barr doesn't want it made. I didn't want it made. He looks nothing like him. I'm completely loyal to the original. And they used the wrong Crow because there is a Crow in comics that has all those tattoos. So why they're calling it Eric Draven, I have no idea. But obviously, I love Eric Draven as it's, I named my character after him. But yeah, I've heard so much about it that I don't even need to see the trailer. But I did see Beetlejuice though, the trailer.
I want to see that. Yeah.
Okay, I
Me
want to see
too.
it. And I'm very upset that, and I'm sure Tom has an opinion, but that just
No.
everyone had this really, really, really strong opinion of it. And he only said one fucking line. Like, I
Yeah,
was
Beetlejuice. Like you
Yeah.
don't see anything. Like there's no story here. Like
There's-
it's a teaser. It's not even a trailer. It's a teaser.
I-
It's
they're
like
getting
I just,
Okay,
I just
maybe
want to see it
that's
because
why.
they took forever to put it out. But
I think it's mostly the nostalgia at this
Yeah.
point where people are just excited to see like a lot of the original cast come back
I'm
together
just
for this
saying,
movie. But I
they
was
like-
like, I don't think they can top the last one. I really
No.
don't.
Of course
there's no
not.
way.
And I'm
There's
sure
no
they're going to ruin the legacy of it somehow. But the point is, it's them and they're in it. But what I just don't understand is, I'm fine. You can hate the trailer, but they drew these weird like
Conclusions.
theories from it. Like, oh, he's so evil in it. I was like, he said one line. I was like, what's evil? He's just
Well,
he's supposed to be
plus-
fun.
plus he's evil.
That's what.
I mean, he is
I mean,
evil.
that is
like
what
he
he
is
does,
a bad
right?
guy.
He was
not a
always
good guy.
self-centered. Maybe
Yeah.
they're watching the cartoon too much, where he became.
That's
more
true.
of a
Yeah,
sympathetic
yeah.
character.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
that
that's
too.
true.
But
Yeah,
he's
but no,
not
in
evil.
Beetlejuice the movie, he's like a bad guy.
Evil. He's
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm like, and he even says in his list, he's like, I killed so and so and all this stuff. So he has a long list of things he's done. But either way, where would you get that from that one line? And even if that is your conclusion, they're like, why is he evil? And I was like, maybe he's out for revenge. They did like fuck him over in the last one. So
Yeah.
Last
I
time
don't
we
know.
saw him, he was like, his head shrunk, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
My hair.
Hey,
I'm gonna watch it because the nostalgia for it, and
yeah.
I obviously
same.
I'm gonna watch it. I will not be watching The Crow.
I'm ready to be disappointed. Just like, because I think like Coming to America too, when you wait that many years between movies and you put out
Just
that, it's like,
don't.
that's the best you could do in that many years. I mean, I couldn't even. I don't even think I smirked. It was so unfunny.
Yeah, sometimes you
Oh,
see those
no.
things and it's like
Why?
these are one and done concepts.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah,
there's-
thank
It
you.
ended perfectly.
yeah, there's not a reason to create another one.
Right.
But
And-
they were
and-
supposed
It's not
to
going
have
to
a
add
series.
anything.
yeah,
No.
yeah, it's
not gonna
it's
be
really
really
difficult.
better. It was great the way it was. Leave it
Yeah.
alone.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just-
exactly.
I just think it's funny because they were going to do a sequel 30 years ago, but it was going to be Beetlejuice in Hawaii. So I'm assuming this has got to be better than that because you got to know what's doing in Hawaii.
What was that movie about the actual dead guy where they took him out for like a
Weekend
dinner?
at Bernie's.
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
what
that.
pops into my brain when you said Beetlejuice and
Yeah, Beetlejuice 2. It's Weekend at Beetlejuice's house.
Didn't they make a Weekend at Bernie's too, though?
Yeah, they did.
Man, you'd think rigor mortis would have kicked in by then.
You know, you just ruined the entire. You should be on pitch meeting, just like done. Like let me be the Mortis, and then be like, "You're gonna have to get all the way off of my back about that." So, I have not seen it. I have not seen that. I have not seen What About Bob. I don't see. I have never
What?
seen any of those.
What about
Yeah,
Bob? It's
yeah.
so
It's on my list. Not the Bernie one. I don't think that would be my type.
The
of movie.
first weekend one is okay. I have not even seen the second
There's
one. I didn't
two?
even bother. Yeah, there's two.
They
Same
make,
dead guy?
again,
Like, take 'em
why?
off.
Who asked for this movie?
And it's the same Bernie. Like it's the
Yeah.
same Bernie. Like it's not even a
Dead
different
guy.
dead dude. Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Yeah. So I didn't
More
even
fun
bother
with
the second one.
corpses.
Sounds like my comic. Amazing. We'll just bring
Yeah.
him with us.
I can't believe there's a 2. I never saw the first one, so I don't know. It's probably my husband's type of movie. He loves he loves Dumb and Dumber and all those type of movies. And
There was 3 Weekend at Bernie's, according to Tobias.
Holy
No,
crap.
there isn't.
Really?
That dead body got some action.
is it 3 weekends in a row?
Man.
Are they like in the Caribbean for like
He
a
would have
month?
fallen apart.
21 days of a dead body.
Can you imagine? There's just be pieces of Bernie.
Disgusting. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
The fact that they made a third and it's always the same Bernie.
No, there's
Yeah.
not a weekend
Yeah,
at Bernie's three.
he would have
There
fallen
isn't?
apart.
Okay,
Okay. Let's hope not. 2 shouldn't even exist because that's 14 days of smelly corpse.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it
bad.
was-
Oof, it's just
there's,
a skeleton.
It was a well, okay, so there is, but there
Yeah, I would
isn't.
watch it if it was just the skeleton. I would
It's-
watch that.
Yeah, it's basically just a fan short film. It's not like a real
Okay.
release
Thank you.
thing. Yeah.
That I would be appreciative.
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
okay.
funny.
Yeah, yeah.
When they're like, we can nip Bernie's skeleton.
I want to see the skeleton now.
That's the version I'll see.
Yeah, I'll see the skeleton one. Maybe it'll be in Beetlejuice. That would be a great Easter egg to just have Bernie like in hell, like with the shades on and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna watch it just because it's not a remake. It's just I probably won't pay to see it because I'm not sure I'll like it that much.
Well, the
But
advantage
my husband
is
wants
you
to go
have
see.
people, right? It's Tim Burton, and it's the people are back, you know.
Yeah,
and so that's the
it's them.
advantage.
It-
Yeah.
that's the only reason why I want to see it. No, it's such a skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously if it wasn't them, I wouldn't even entertain it. But the fact that it's them, and I know Michael Keaton's been wanting to do this for a long time, and that chick really does look like Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not.
Well, it's going to be your daughter. That's
Yeah,
gonna be your
I'm
daughter.
saying it looks.
Oh
just
wait, you're
like
talking about Jenna Ortega.
yeah.
I was like, that was
Wednesday,
Winona,
right?
wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
or is
Oh,
that
yes.
like a corpse standing in her place?
Yeah, Winona's still in it too. Yeah.
No, we're not. Yeah, we're not.
Sure, it wasn't like
We
we
need that
can nip Bernie's
Beetlejuice.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah, but the only thing that I guess they'll explain it, but I mean, it didn't look like the house was split in the last. I mean, it's been 30 years. Did they move on, or because and for some reason they were living in the first floor and the end of the last one, which technically made no sense. Why weren't they upstairs since they would have to come through the dead
Yeah.
to go? I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, I'm
They-
kind
they
of curious to
filmed
be
in
like
the
what they did
same
to the house.
town, I think.
Is
They
it?
filmed I think they filmed in the
Because
same
the thing's
town.
still
In
upstairs.
Vermont.
The attic looks the same, and the attic has the model in it. And of course,
Yeah.
as a kid, my favorite line is "nice fucking model." So that's all that's all I needed to hear when I was a kid. I was like, because you get one F word in PG-13.
Yeah,
so,
one.
yeah, except for planes, trains, and automobiles. They somehow got the entire
The whole
you know,
rant.
rental,
That's
the
like my
whole
favorite movie.
entire rent. I don't know if it's because it was like all in 1 minute, like it was just like we'll give you 1 minute of F words, but somehow that remained PG-13. So I
You
don't
give
know.
me keys to a fucking car that isn't
Yeah.
fucking there.
You sound just like them. Yeah. Then I guess you're fucked. That was that we watch it every Thanksgiving. That is one of our favorite movies. So, but yeah. But anyway, so
Do you
What
know
are the movies?
sequels? There's
Sequel?
going to be a Happy Gilmore 2.
Ugh.
really,
Apparently. I don't know why, how you would continue that, but
Can we get something new and good? No.
they don't.
Hey,
no,
oh, what about this? X-Men 97.
Yep.
eh?
Well, there you go. I only watched the
That
first
one
episode,
was
so-
I
actually
haven't
good.
watched it yet.
I have
It's
not watched
great.
it, but I love the cartoon. So.
Yeah.
I
Um,
grew up watching that cartoon on Saturday mornings, and this is picking up where it left off.
Yeah.
They have most of the same cast coming back, and the ones that they have replaced because the originals have passed on sound just like them.
Hmm.
So they did their work. They created a new opening that's very nostalgic with the soundtrack, the music, the opening song, right, is amazing. It's all stuck in our heads.
Yes.
Yeah, and they brought back Morph, who's actually does cool stuff this time. And it's like I almost cried in the second one. Like they get you in your emotions, and
Wow.
it
nerd
was done really well.
Oh,
So bravo to them. In the world where they keep bringing shit back that we don't want, they actually brought back something that I want.
Yeah.
And did it right, it sounds like,
Did
which
it
is the
right.
biggest
You
thing.
see what
Because
I
they'll
mean?
bring back stuff we want, but then they'll fuck it all up and we don't want to see it
Exactly.
anymore.
And I'll be like, why?
Gambit was my favorite character, and I don't care that he's wearing a crop top because that actually was my era of crop tops.
Oh,
I don't know if I could.
That
see him
was like
ever
the
wearing
biggest.
that.
That was the biggest stink they could make about this whole thing was Gambit
Well,
wearing a
that
crop
Rose-
top.
yeah.
Who
They were
cares?
very
Or like
upset about
Rose Blood.
backs. That was a big thing.
Rose
to
Blood.
do
I
that
was like camera angles. It's just camera angles, people.
Yeah. No,
And then-
they no.
No,
The
it's art.
originals did have
It's art.
it. Yeah.
It's the
Well,
art.
there were some
And then
pervy
the-
animators. They did that on
yeah.
purpose.
Well, you got to remember back in the day, they were trying to mimic the comic book, the Jim Lee style of sort of hyper lines, all kinds of everything's rounded out and detailed. And so now, just to simplify the animation, you just simplify the animation. You reduce a lot of the line work, and the animation becomes smoother because you don't have all these crazy things that you have to keep animating all the time. So, back in the day, they went all in, and that's what everybody remembers. And so when it changes, people are
Yeah.
like, "Wait a minute, that looks a
That's
little
not
different."
the same.
Now more people are fans of Cyclops.
See, I like how you had to do it like this. It's just not,
It's not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
where did it go? Are they still animating it in the same process? It's still 2D animation, or are they?
Mhm. As far as I know, yeah. I mean, there's probably a
It
little bit of
looks like
computer
it.
to it. I mean, everything's
probably
got
not
a little
pure
bit of computer,
cell.
but
I was just curious because they hardly ever do that anymore.
Yeah, cell animation's almost as dead as stop motion.
yeah.
Right.
It looks the same. It doesn't look like it's done crafted.
Just because it looks the same doesn't mean it's the same, though.
Yeah, they can.
For
Cheating.
Beetlejuice, they did like the regular effects like that they did back then.
Practical effects.
Yes, that.
Practical effects.
Couldn't think of it.
So no CG.
Them
stuff.
and Christopher Nolan, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's like, get all the TNT for Oppenheimer. We're going to blow up things.
Yeah.
And then watch
Well,
it in
New
slow
Alien
mo.
movie is supposed to be all practical effects. Like
The new
guy- I never
Alien?
think of the
It's a
guy.
real alien.
Yeah, new Alien movie. Called,
Ooh, kudos to them.
the same guy who did the remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah,
I saw
that's
that.
right.
It was
I'm
me.
excited that he's doing it.
It's like Ravi or something. I can never remember his name.
Yeah,
Anyway, it came out the other day that they were talking about it, and he says that all of the sets and at least 90% of it, and all of the actual alien stuff is all practical effects.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And I
That's
like
the
that the trailer
best.
was
And they gotta-
really bloody too, which is like, all right, give us back an R-rated alien movie. Don't quit trying to
Yes.
cater to the kids. They're not
Yeah.
the ones that want
Like,
to see it
who's
anyway.
taking their kids to that? I'm not.
Oh, kids watch The Walking Dead nowadays. That doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
This is
It's
true.
it's
But
all
I don't
all
know.
stuff is
I'm
very
like, no,
individual.
no.
Some kids can handle it, some kids cannot handle it. Just know your kid, and
This is
and
true.
that's it. That's kind of how you do it. It's funny. I was at a Robert Kirkman panel one time at San Diego Comic-Con, and they were talking about The Walking Dead. And there was like a 10-year-old kid up in front who just knew everything. And Kirkman kept saying, like, "Are your parents here? Like, do they know you watch this thing? Do they know you read the comics?" And he was like, "Yeah, they got me. They told me to watch this. They got me the stuff." And he was just like, "That's wild, man, but awesome."
Yeah. Yeah. I always wonder sometimes people are like, would my kid like your book? And I was like, how old are they? They're like 13. I was like, maybe give them a couple years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. That's not how I answer it. When they ask me every single con, every single book signing, what is it rated, and or is it for kids? And I was like, I would not have my kids. I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't have my kids probably read it. But there's lots of cursing and there's gore, and then the same question every time: is there nudity? No. Okay, well,
Oh,
bye.
that's what
I
they're
get that
asking.
too. Same
That's what I
exact
want to
thing.
know.
Here's the hack, Carissa. They're not asking about violence of any
Yeah.
kind.
No,
They're
it's
only
nudity.
asking, are there tits in your book?
Yeah.
That is it. Because that is the American
Well-
way of what's for kids and what's for not kids
Yeah.
is, are there boobs? And if there
We
are
have some
boobs,
self-harm.
we don't want it.
We have some self-harm that's pretty graphic, and that's why I tend to say, like, wait until they're a little bit
Oh,
older.
I'm not disagreeing with your rationale, but I'm just saying, like, when
That's
we
all I
get
cared
asked those
about.
questions,
Yeah.
it's clearly
Are
what
there- is
is
there boobs?
sexual.
Yeah.
What sexual?
Yeah.
I'm
element
like,
is
we
in
don't
this
have
book.
boobs, but we got everything else.
Yeah,
They're like, it's
It's really
fine.
funny because if you
Like-
think about it, at least boobs are
Violence, who cares?
natural. I mean, I'd rather my kids look at boobs than like someone getting their guts ripped out. But that's just me.
Yeah, then
Yeah, I mean, like
decapitated
for my
heads.
Oz book, right? It's like, yeah, there's no boobs, there's no sex, but there is like Western violence. They're punching people, they're shooting guns, and people are like, oh, that's fine. Give me that. That's
Yeah.
no problem. But if I had said, oh yeah, there's a nip slip on page 87, it would have been a no go.
Yeah.
I there was
They'd
a
run you out of the
nip
con.
Yeah,
With whip.
slip.
No,
mine
it would be that one lady with the bell. Shame.
Mine actually did have a nip slip, and I caught it, and I was like, I know it's very slight, but you need to cover that
They're
up.
like, Jonas, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know if
I
it was
did not
Jonas.
approve this.
I don't know if it was Jonas or Matt or Matt, but because he's like, well, I thought it would be, but it wasn't John, and I was like, yeah, we don't do that here. But and it wasn't Serafina, so it wouldn't have been the worst, but it's just the fact that I couldn't say, oh, there's no nudity, because that would be enough apparently.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah.
Then
So
they're not buying your book ever for the kids. I opened
Yeah.
my flop page in issue 1 is what I usually show, and it's got a woman getting her arm cut off and bleeding out all over the place. And I'm like, hey, if you can handle this, then you're ready for whatever else is in the book.
Yeah.
And most of them, they'll say like, oh, well, my kid watches Walking Dead, or my kid watches, fill in the blank horror movie or show. And yeah, the moment they say, oh, is there any nudity? Like, nope. Okay, cool. I'll buy it and hand it to my 10-year-old. And I have a
I was
class of
watching this.
10-year-olds trying to chase my book down because I teach 5th grade. So they're all trying to find a way to get it. And it's just like,
No.
listen,
Yeah, I was watching this documentary on drive-ins the other day about a specific drive-in that they were trying to keep alive, and they did a Friday the 13th night, right?
Mhm.
And so they're playing Jason movies, and there were kids there, like kids, like 8, running around in
wow.
Jason masks, with their machetes and stuff. Just, I mean, like, it's violence is
Those are so gory.
fine
Yeah.
here, but if you
Favorite
got the
series.
boots in it, you're going to run into the problem.
yeah.
I have this handy dandy warning page that is as big as can be. When my original letterist did it, it was this small little I was like, no, I want this huge warning. I don't want any questions whatsoever on anyone reading this freaking thing. I don't want anything to come back to. We added self-harm because of issue 7. So, but mostly it says adult contact, graphic novel, self-harm, violence, gore, and horror-filled fun. So proceed at your own risk.
Horror-filled fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
Yeah.
That's
figure
good.
people, once they read my issue number 1, would understand that we're going places.
I
We're
was
going
looking at it
in.
as a legal thing. I was like, I don't
I
want any
mean-
doubts on whether, when I hand it to you with kids, I want to make
Yeah.
sure everything you read
Yeah.
is that there's everything in there. But yeah, that was the first thing I did before I even released the comic book. So
That's smart. I didn't do anything like that. And it's usually my issue 3 that gets people running for the hills. That's the one that a lot of
Oh.
people say, all right, you just took it way too far. And now I'm feeling disturbed. I'm like, then I've done my job.
Yes,
good.
I love it. I get that too. They're like, how dare you? Can I have
Yeah.
the next one?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I just realized the damn time. So I need like links and stuff. See, an hour goes way faster than I thought it would. But
That's
that's what
good.
happens.
So,
You don't pay attention or plan or do anything of any consequence.
do you have to go? Do you have a show to go on?
No, they do. Greg and Ed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm double booked today. I'm feeling like
Yeah.
Carissa doing all the podcasts.
Yeah. So yeah. Eventually, I'll
Forget
probably.
it. I don't know what I was
I'm
going
running
to
out
say.
of what?
I was going to say something and then my brain completely derailed.
Okay. Are you both leave at the same time? So I'm just going to share. I
Oh,
don't know
Greg,
what
are
I'm
you
doing.
going to Aaron's too?
Yep.
All right, we're both
Why are you-
moving into the same place.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
get out. Get out. We don't want you
We're gonna
anyway.
leave.
All right. So
Ooh, scales. What is
Okay.
this? He's on
That's
vacation now.
it took me a second to be like, first of all, my dyslexia did not see ending at all. So in my mind, it put coming soon. So I was like, I'm in the wrong thing. So I'll
Yeah, I
play
changed the banner picture to
Yeah. I was like, that's not what it used to be.
I'm gonna animate mine. I love the music's all like Serenity Now, and then the guy pulls up. Who does your videos?
J.R. Harris, the artist from Vegas. Never changed the video. I changed it.
Right? Why would you put that in the video if they can't see the video till you can go?
Yeah, it was now funding or whatever, and I don't know. I have a second version of the video, but
Oh,
forgot to.
no, I was just like, because the video they can't see it in the pre-launch, which I always hated. I wish that they could, but
Oh, because I usually share it on social media.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
So we'll look at the covers
that's the cover.
and milestone meter.
Yeah, past
These
that.
are great art.
Yeah, Adam Fields. So yeah, if you like Count Monte Cristo, The Goonies, Indiana Jones, any of that, or
Who doesn't?
superheroes, then you'll like this.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there's a glow in the dark cover if we hit that stretch goal.
Oh,
but,
cool.
it's already made.
I want to get a glow in the dark cover.
I do too.
Yeah, I know. Backer gold.
Trendsetter.
Very cool.
Scroll faster. I cannot read it. Thank you. And now my brain just melted.
What happened?
I'm just saying you were scrolling fast, and I was my brain was trying to read it. So if you scrolled faster, then I can't read it at all, and then I don't feel
Was there
bad.
words? I was looking at pictures.
I'm sorry.
It's just a
My
team.
brain just melted. That's
that's
all.
all
that
in
happened. I
bios
was
and
like,
stuff.
"Bleh."
Go look at the Kickstarter.
I already have. I already backed this.
Not you freak of nature. Everybody else. I already backed it.
Call me a freak of nature.
I mean,
Takes
it's
one to
definitely
know
possible.
one.
Yeah,
That's better than a freak,
that's
though.
why it's
Like if you're a freak
possible.
in nature, that's way better than just a freak.
right? I agree.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for that.
This Tom's defending what I said. I think yeah, I'm just a freak, but a freak of nature, that's something. Okay, so anything else you want to say? Because I'm not good. This is go ahead.
Ends in 9 days, so get us that last stretch goal.
There you go.
3,500. So
But then I gotta find Ed's. I should probably be more organized. This is why it's a non-show. There's no organization whatsoever.
it's fine. I like shows that don't just talk about Kickstarter the entire time. So.
In my defense, I do warn everybody that. What is Ed's? Where's your link? Nope.
Private chat, probably.
Can you put it in the private chat?
He probably
Yes,
could.
yeah, it's under mine.
There's a private chat. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, just because it's my non-show doesn't mean I know what I'm doing.
Ed says he just came back too. He's in the back
He's
back
in what now?
zone, whatever.
Let him
He's in the
in.
backstage thing.
No, you leave. You're done. Where the hell did you go?
Okay, if that's how we do it. Oh, I went to bad internet zone.
Oh, I get that. All right, so
Tom,
share.
It says he's back in. No.
You know. Oh, I'm back in. I was like, I didn't know you left, so I didn't even. I read the comment and it went in one brain cell and out the other, so I had no idea. Okay,
What?
so
Remember, I was like, "Oh, Ed." That's when
No.
Ed
Once
left.
again, we return to the
Remember
immortal
that?
era, a post-apocalyptic world 200 years in the future, a cursed world where all of humanity has become immortal. In this issue, we interrupt Ari, Miguel, and Kimberly's perilous mission to infiltrate the Age Soldiers' headquarters with a backstory. The tragic story of Father and his love, Stephanie Rose. This tale takes place years before Father rescued baby Miguel from the clutches of the Eaters. In this issue, we will witness Father's quest to save his wife, a quest that will lead him to the flat fields and beyond. How far will Father be willing to go to save his love, and how much of his soul will remain when the quest is complete? Join us for our longest issue to date, a 32-page standalone issue that can be enjoyed by new readers and by those who have been along from the start.
That was awesome. I'm sorry. That's my kind of humor.
yes, and I go
So
ahead.
what's
Ed.
more?
What? You know, who's running this non-show? Not me. Somebody, right? Ed, would you like to do your pitch or whatever people call it?
Sure. All right. So yeah, the story. It's as
Wow.
I said in the
Ooh.
video, it's a standalone. And this one, the main story. It takes place 200 years in the future, and it centers on a group of heroes who are trying to find a way to bring death back into the world because they know the only way they can save humanity is by killing them.
I agree. Oh wait. Anyway, the art is awesome. Like this page right here. Look at that shit.
Yeah, that's this like the
Is he like
And
cutting
to
out?
my
or
artist
is it-
of subways and everything else. So yeah, he does such a good job with everything that I send his way.
Someone is dying off camera, by the way.
What happened?
Someone, I think I'm going to say it's in Greg's.
Yep.
house.
Girlfriend.
Someone's
She's sleeping,
dying.
but she's dying. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, I was like, what?
That person that was coughing, it was not one of us.
Oh,
I was like, who?
I
is
didn't
dying
even hear someone coughing.
of
So.
tuberculosis.
I have like random hearing, so
Ooh.
don't hear
Oh.
anything.
Selective.
That's selective. That's the word I wanted. Thank you.
You
Awesome.
guys lop off a lot of heads in this.
I
Let's
do.
So
Heads get lopped off, and no one took my tier to become a decapitated head in my book. I offered that in the
Wow,
last
how much
campaign.
is
I'm like, you can be a head on a spike. It was
Did you-
$300, but you would also get the original artwork from the page you have your decapitated head
Man.
on. And
Did you get
no,
that
but hey,
message from?
I cut a lot of heads off. If you want it for the future, your head can be featured in my story.
Did you
Oh,
get
think
that?
about
Did
it.
you get that message from that girl or whatever that's on
Oh,
Kickstarter? They
No,
like being
I didn't
killed.
offer it on this
Oh.
tier, so she wasn't
Oh,
looking
okay.
to be decapitated. I would oblige.
I would have added.
Well, she wanted to be eaten by zombies, wasn't it that?
Yeah, I know she
No,
wanted to
it-
die in different ways, but had a specific outfit requests and everything from the people I was hearing about. And mine is like your outfit will be a
Weird kink.
spike and you will be a head. That's it.
12 days left. Woohoo.
Yes.
It's a weird kink to have, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
being
the-
killed in comic books. But hey, if she's willing
People
to pay
just
for it.
like the idea of being killed.
Yeah,
it's
no one's
weird.
asked me. I think it's because they're immortal. They're like, I'm not actually going to die. I'm just going to live as a head.
I'm just gonna be a head. Funnily enough, Ed, we are now best friends because I have a character that is also just a head.
Nice. That's how we know.
I have
we
a character
connect.
that has no head.
Oh,
Well,
See, we're over
technically, there's
here
a
in
body
the-
running around with
on
no
the other
head.
side of the
Although
spectrum, just evening us out.
my body got eaten by the cannibal, so there's no
Oh,
body
so
left.
sad.
It's just the head.
Sounds very upsetting.
Hmm.
But
That's what I'm
yeah.
going for. I've done my job.
Mission accomplished. So
I wasn't
yeah.
going for
Me, I'm
puppies
going
and no
full-on
plushies,
comedy.
unless decapitated head plushies. If people want
Why?
those,
think Ed
You can
probably
have
is
a
more-
plushie- You can have a plushie of anything, like if
Heads. Could you the
head
collection?
or a stuffed heart. I don't know. I can find a plushie.
No,
in
you
in
need a collection of heads.
Yes. Yeah,
Like
I
all
can have
heads.
a plushie in anything. So
At San Diego Comic Con a number of years ago, there was a booth that had plushy STDs.
Yeah,
wow.
we were talking about this.
What?
like
People were buying them, right?
Yeah, you could buy a plushy gonorrhea.
So
Wow.
weird.
Like how the virus looks, or how the
Yeah,
skin
how the
looks?
virus looks. Yeah.
huh?
Did they at least put googly eyes on it?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had one. I think I got one of those. They were giving they gave them away in Loot Crate a couple years after
Very
that. I saw
possible.
them at
Yeah.
Comic Con.
Yeah.
So I
They
think
were
I have
absolutely
some
living
disease
virus
plushie
plushies.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think that they think it was a Loot Crate thing.
Anyway, we'll do the whole where you could find things. So Greg, where can they find you besides everywhere?
Nowhere then.
No.
Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it.
I think you're supposed
Facebook.
to say what they're looking up.
Well, there's scales on Kickstarter.
I know, but they might not know. I'm trying to follow the one rule I was taught in shows. It's the only thing I do that's show related. And Tom makes fun of me every time.
Just type in Sierra Nova Comics in Google, and you'll definitely find us. 'cause we're-
SEERNOVA. Seer
Lori
Nova.
knows the
That's
rules
what he
because
just said.
she's a
There we go.
real professional.
Because
whatever you
what
call
Greg
this
said
stuff.
sounded like Sierra Nova.
Anyway,
Ain't nobody
Greg,
finding you off of that.
are you doing any cons, Greg?
I think we might actually do Nashville.
Yes, Ed and I are
because-
there.
We'll
Because
be there.
Dylan is like,
I'm not going.
hey,
to
that's
Fred's going.
$125, and I was like, you're gonna pay for that because I have to, pay for the flight. But we're doing Saratoga Comic Con in May, so yay! Because
We should all hang out in Nashville. But Ed,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
tell your story before we kick you off because you got to go.
Tom, you
Okay,
have a
so-
Christmas tree or something up on a shelf? It looks like
Lori,
hair.
let Ed talk.
Sorry.
All right, fine. So you can find me at Finish Line Comics on Instagram, Twitter. I have a TikTok, very little content. I also have a YouTube that I just created. I have plans to put more content on there. So come
Son of a bitch. You
He's
heard the
at-
man.
he's at Bernie's house. You can only go there on
He's
the
with
weekend.
Bernie. Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his little
Oh.
thing right down there. So at Finish Line
Yeah.
Comics, you can
Yeah,
look him
there
up
you
right
go.
there.
Yeah. And go
Plus, you
back
can
to
watch the video
Kickstarter.
back, and you'll see his campaign right there. and you
I
can-
put the
you can
links
get to it.
in wherever the
Immortal
fuck links
Era.
Oh,
are.
links are in there. Cool, good.
Yeah.
Comments.
So-
Yeah.
I don't know why they
Back
go.
there.
AKA the slice and dice, where
Oh.
you can be just
Hey,
ahead. You're back.
Go ahead.
I'm back. Fucking internet. I'm going to have a great second show. I can anticipate looking at the spinning more times.
Like that.
So, and I'll be at WonderCon this weekend in Anaheim. So I'll be.
You know,
Greg,
with
you're
the-
just
with
gonna have
the
to
table,
fill in
I
the
have
blanks.
these cool Easter eggs that I created that you. So am I
wow,
here?
that was
Are
like
you hearing
doing
what I'm
tour
saying?
quizzes.
We're
Yeah.
hearing like every other word.
Yeah. But
Fuck
you
this
are
internet.
also
Okay.
you are also in Nashville.
I will be
and
there
I'm-
in Nashville. That's my next con after WonderCon this weekend, and hopefully we'll get our panel. I applied for one, so I'm hoping
They're
we'll
super.
drag
they
Greg
take
to it as
forever.
well.
They take forever to plan anything. So I
Yeah,
don't know how
that's
that
like
works. I've never
Saratoga.
been on a panel, and it's probably not the wisest thing. But yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, but if
Um,
not, we'll hang out if nothing else.
Yeah. You'll hear me. I'm the loudest one in the damn place. So, yeah, that's the only time my Italian heritage is any use whatsoever. So, you can hear me talking wherever. So, my husband's like, I hope we get the same spot. I was like, they'll hear. The only time they don't hear me is like the bigger shows, like Lexington, and that's when I say they can't hear me, it's like way too loud because. Yeah, I'm pretty loud, but you guys better go, I guess, because you probably have to get on a couple minutes early. So, but thanks for
Yeah.
coming on. You guys can
Cool,
come on
thanks.
anytime you want.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
You're
having me.
welcome. You're welcome. Bye. Get out.
Ed is still on.
And I guess Lori, you have to go, right?
Yeah, I got 2 minutes.
Oh, good. So awesome. So, but anyway, yeah. So I'm torn, Tom, if I should see Ghostbusters or not. So I don't know.
Oh,
Yay
I
or nay?
wouldn't tell you not to. I mean, I've talked to a couple of people and they were like, should I see it or is this like a streaming thing? And I'd be like, yeah, it's probably streaming. You'd be fine on
All
streaming.
right, because my husband
Well-
really wants to go to the theater tomorrow, and I'm just like, I don't think it's a movie theater thing because it's so expensive to go to damn movies, and you can't
Yeah.
have the pretzels anymore because of the gluten. So
I mean, it theoretically Ghostbusters is for the theater, but they're just in this particular one, there's
yeah,
nothing that really is like for the theater.
they had like 30 years to come up with something. How is this not
I know,
better?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like the monsters are kind of cool and stuff, but it just takes so long to get going, and I don't know. I was not thrilled.
So record it and watch it on like 1.5 speed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Shave it down from 2 hours to 90 minutes, and you'll be fine.
Any new bad movies you've seen that I should be watching? Because I have not caught up on my bad movies. I'm like, I don't even think I watched one this week. So I'm like,
No, Darkman was the only thing I caught kind of last week, and then I've been watching Jaws again because I have to write my shark book. So I've just been kind of.
did you watch the Trailer Park Shark or Shock Shark?
What?
Okay, so for some reason, when somebody told me to
I'm
watch
gonna
it,
go right here because
Yeah.
this is probably a good breaking point.
I,
I love you guys. I'll see you all next week.
See ya.
Bye.
but it was so someone. It was one of the movies. What is your? No, it wasn't guilty pleasure. It was just. I can't remember what the question was. Maybe it was guilty pleasure. Sometimes they don't answer for like 3 years. But they said Trailer Park Shark, and I was like, I need to know what this movie is because I need to see it. So when I looked it up, it came as Shark Shock. I'm pretty sure that's the order it was in. And it was a trailer park that got flooded and a shark that got, I guess he bit into a telephone pole wire and now he's electrified.
He has electrical powers.
But his burn mark would go from the left to the right.
Yeah.
So like depending, like I thought my mind was like fucking playing tricks on me because I'm like, wasn't he just burnt on the other side? And my friend's like, yeah, he's not burnt on the other side. And I was like, okay. So it's
That
on
was
Tubi.
probably what happened is that they filmed it, right?
Yeah.
And then they ended up just inverting the film for whatever reason. Like, oh no, he went from left to right, but we need to go him from right to left. And so the scar would move. That would be my guess on how that happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it must. I gotta say though, for some of it was pretty bad.
no
But
doubt.
I actually thought it was decent. I mean, it wasn't film the worst. So far, the film the worst was Lamageddon. That was just.
There's actually 2 more shark movies coming out this year. There was one already called No Way Up, which we talked about before, but there's one coming on the Netflix
Ooh.
that has something about like sharks in Paris or something. I can't remember exactly what it was called. But then there's another one. So there's the 47 Meters Down movie, and they did 2 of those. The second one's really bad, but there's a third 47 Meters Down movie coming as well. So there are 2 more shark movies coming this year.
I'm slowly trying to go through the list of shark movies on Tubi, and then I'll probably go over to Netflix. I did watch.
Netflix doesn't have many, but
Yeah,
do you have Amazon?
The only
Do you
one.
do Amazon?
I do have Amazon. Yeah.
Amazon is loaded with this stuff. Yeah. Amazon is loaded with shark movies. And all you got to do is go into the one shark movie and then click down and it'll be like, well, here's 30 other ones. Yeah.
I'll have to do that next. So I watched Shark Shock. My dyslexia does not like saying it, so it's like say it slowly.
Shark
that
Shock,
I like. I think you might like it. I think there's a plot there somewhere. But it does have the principal from Saved by the Bell, so that was funny. And
my God.
and then I literally watched something the next day. I think it was Bones. It was either Bones or Chuck. I think it was Bones, and he was in it. So I'm like, I just saw it yesterday. So he was in it. There was one really, really stupid scene that kind of made it drop one level of respect. It was like they shocked the girl, and then she did all these really stupid dance moves, like the margarita and all this stuff. It was really, really cute. But yeah, and another guy just ran right into the shark. Like I don't know, something that's really, really different. But I think you might like it. So you should check that out. I did see, I think you said you saw us, but I can't remember. Sharktopus versus where
whale or something, right?
that one. Did you see that one?
I there's no way I was sitting through that whole thing. I'm aware of it. Yeah, but there's no whale wolf. It's whale wolf. Whale wolf.
Whale wolf. Yeah.
Sharktopus versus whale wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. It was yeah. It was,
and there's a few of those types of things too, but I can't. A lot of the stuff from Asylum, that's who makes a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
They make all these just really off-brand everything. I just can't. It's it's so terrible. There was one, I actually was watching one the other day, and I can't think of what it was called. It might have been Jurassic Shark.
I started watching that one. I didn't get to finish
I think it might have been it. And there was this scene where this girl is supposed to be in a little submarine, like a little personal submarine thing.
Yeah.
But it's clearly she's just sitting in an office building, with just like the walls are painted gray.
Yeah.
And like I can't even look at this. So yeah.
I don't think I watched that one. I saw it in the list. We were going to go back to that, but there was we were trying to find really. We were watching previews. You haven't watched Doll Shark, right? I don't think you can get through that.
No, I haven't been able to find that one. I would give that the old
that's
college try.
Is that on Tubi?
Is it on Tubi? I'll have to look.
Yeah, I think that's on. I think because I didn't pay for it, so so. I'll double check, but I think it's on there.
Okay. I have Tubi, so I can look and see.
Yeah.
Because when you guys were talking about it, I was like, that could be funny.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Watch it and then let me know what you thought about the dog scene. It's my favorite scene because actually the thief's death is my favorite scene. But this dog, how it's smiling and happy, and they just zoom in and out of it with a growling sound in the background. They betrayed this growling dog. So definitely watch it, and we'll talk about it on Monday. I was gonna watch Puppet Shark, but the trailer like it was just puppets. Like I don't know what I expected.
Oh geez.
The whole thing is puppets, like all of it.
Yeah,
so I didn't think I would get through that. Yeah. And there was a couple other ones I do want to watch. But my favorite still is Ghost Shark. I find it the best film so far, and
high level crappy movie.
Yeah. I thought it was filmed very well. The audio was great. I mean, like someone before was talking about how if there was no humans in it, it would have been better. With Godzilla.
Well, no, but you needed the humans to be eaten.
No. I mean, so with Llamageddon, if you just killed the people and skipped everything else, I would have liked it. I would just skip to the deaths, and I still haven't gotten through it. But the movie, the humans are just so boring, and I usually think people are boring, but this is like beyond boring. And the audio was awful, and the recording is awful. So but whatever. But anyway, so I guess we'll stop there because we could talk about sharks all night long. Still looking for Big Shark. So we say it at the end of every episode. The quest is on for Big Shark. If you are sick of the show and you want it to end, you can make Big Shark for us. Either way.
Tommy Wiseau movie, guys. Tommy Wiseau. He had made a movie called Big Shark.
Yeah.
And it does not exist on the internet. So you find it for us.
It's somewhere.
There's a reward for you.
Yeah, there is a reward. We are pooling our money for this. And we will be back next Monday at 8. We don't know why. We just keep doing it. And you don't have to say where you are because you're at Big Dog Inc. and you're not launching for 2 weeks, right? So we don't have to
basically 2 weeks. April 6th is the return of Critter, guys. April 6th. Yeah.
So I don't plug my own stuff, but I'm live now for 2 more days. Go back at Worthy Chaos, search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. I think everybody already knows that. So, but anyway. All right, bye everyone that's watching, and see you next Monday.
See you.
If you're bored enough to come back.